ordinances for tonight. 124,
Hey,
we
Tom,
have that's for the
you okay? Got it on there.
Fire Department's Training Center for building. It'll be at its second reading. 224 are appropriations, that needs passed. 324, authorize the service director to sign all documents and authorize payment necessary for the city to purchase property at 1806 Chestnut. Mr. K Drive wants that passed. Is there a reason why that can't go 3 readings?
Let me check the schedule. Let's do a first reading and I'll advise you. I'll check the schedule on
It
that.
just seems like a lot of the ordinances that come from you are always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Need passed right
Let me check the
away.
schedule. Let's do a first reading tonight on 1806 and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, because I know we talked about in the past and last year, and what I think what I would like to do is as many ordinances as possible, if they can run their course. I'd like for them to run their course. Okay,
Okay.
thank you, sir.
While we're talking about that, can I ask a question? The purchase price of that property, is that what's listed in the ordinance? Because a lot of times when you go through closing, you'll have to pay for,
Yeah, well, like before you have the closing costs and stuff like that. That's just the purchase price of the property.
because if we have to pay extra for whatever closing costs, that probably should be added into the ordinance.
Yeah.
So that Sherry's authorized to pay that amount of money.
Or negotiate it with, if they want to sell the property, here's what we have, and thank
And
you.
they pay the closing costs. But
Yeah.
if we're gonna pay any other additional cost, then we need to add that into the ordinance and just say up to 90,000 or whatever the case may be.
Okay, don't have an exact number, give me a little, yeah,
So in between now and whenever we give it a second reading, you need to figure that out.
I will do that.
Let me
Okay.
ask you this, since there's a small parcel.
Yeah, I
around
want to talk
property,
about that now, Tom.
No,
Okay.
get you in a minute.
okay, Tom, I wonder if we should pull that from the agenda.
Already done.
It is pulled?
Yep.
Okay.
This one?
No. So, let me go through this, okay? Let me run through this, and then we can talk about the other one. Resolution 124, authorizing the mayor service director, auditor to sell certain city property described by herein on the internet auction. 224, resolution authorizing the safety service director, prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Department of Transportation Alternative as a TAP program, right, Max?
Correct.
Okay. 6, resolution 324, authorizing the city of Coshocton Safety Service Director to apply for, accept and enter into agreement with Ohio EPA, HTO Ohio Fund for the Chestnut Street Waterline Improvement Product. Okay? Those are the things that need to be, that are on the agenda tonight. Ordinance 424, an ordinance authorizing the service director to sign all documents to authorize payment necessary for the city to purchase property from the William Scott Brown Memorial Trust has been pulled because I pulled it because it wasn't discussed at the last meeting. That's why I pulled it. So sorry if I was rude, but I know when a bunch of questions get asked. So now if somebody wants to speak on that because we need it added. The next meeting.
Yes, and Tom was right, that was my error that I didn't bring up at the last meeting, because I kind of treat the parcels all as one. But 1806 gets us the road frontage and almost to the reservoir. There's a small, they just got surveyed 0.49495 half acre parcel that completes the transition from 1806 to our property at the top of the hill. So that's why they kind of both need to be approved together, but we can do a first reading, but they're both contingent on each one. Okay.
I didn't know if you wanted to pull the one and rewrite it to include both
Closing
parcels
right.
and just have one ordinance, or
Is it the same purchase price or?
No, it's 2 separate purchase prices from 2 separate individuals, and that's why I did 2 ordinances.
I think it should be 2 ordinances then.
Yeah, there's 2 different parcels.
But if we're not gonna purchase one. let's
Right, then you
purchase the
might-
second
right.
one.
Yeah,
Then they probably ought to be passed together.
right. They ought to be
Right.
passed together, right?
Yes.
Right, and that's what we talked about. And with the bigger purchase, there is contingency in there that if the purchase of the Brown property doesn't go through for whatever reason, that contract's null and void.
That's on 324, that,
The 1806, I don't know the number, but the 1806 purchase, that purchaser understands that's contingent upon us start getting the brown.
I mean, I'll leave it to you, Tom, whether or not you wanna hold this one and do both for 3 readings next.
Well, if they need, I'm like with Max, if they need passed together, we should probably pull it and then pass them together.
Everything all together.
It'll be least or less confusing.
my question is, Dave, does this, pulling this tonight and at least not giving in a first reading, knowing that we can amend it to add this other language, you know, and I just put $75, including closing costs not to exceed X, $5,000, you know, because I doubt that it's gonna be that. Is it, if we do this, is it gonna delay, you know, any of the engineering and the
No,
grant dollars
no.
coming
You
in?
know, it's not.
Because
gonna
we've
delay the
ran into that
engineering.
before, so
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I don't wanna delay it if it's gonna,
No, that's
if
kind
it's
of
gonna
that's kind
affect
of the
that.
second phase of that
Okay.
project.
Right.
Okay.
Like, so it's going to be later.
All right, as long as it doesn't interfere with grant dollars coming in and not having
And I
to be
agree, that's a
passed.
good point, yeah.
Okay,
Since we have to amend the one that's on the agenda tonight anyway, why don't you just pull it and we'll give both of the purchase ordinances.
Yep, so we'll take, ordinance 324 off as well.
do you have to table it then, council?
So what I'll have to do, probably right at the, I'll go to addition, probably when we get to additions, need a motion to table it. And then we'll have to untable it.
I don't think we have to table it if it hasn't been given a reading.
Yeah.
Even when it's not, when it's been advertised on the agenda?
Yeah,
Okay.
Don't want to do anything, I'll just pull it.
table it, then it's gonna require 6 votes to pass it.
Yeah.
Or to untable it.
Thanks, Bob. Any other ordinances for next meeting? Dave, nothing?
Nothing, none to my knowledge, there's no other grant applications in the works right now.
Max?
What we bring up, as you have tonight, Mr. Rager's here, be an ordinance to change, I call it Friday's lot, I don't know what the exact address is on 12th Street, from a M2 zoning at this time to an R1 zoning for the building. Yes, and there'll be one for tax fund. Assuming everything gets through, we'll try to get it in this week. They're vacating part of that alley at the Lincoln School lot, where it's been a grass field for a long time, but those people want to put a garage there, and I don't recommend they build a garage until they actually own the property.
And council should have that information,
We got the
and the law director has it, yes.
So that would be our next one.
Great.
They were still surveying up there today, but wanting to get started on their house.
So you don't have anything?
Not that I'm aware.
Tonight, with respect to Mr. Rager's ordinance, are we also by this ordinance granting a variation on the setbacks?
That's
And
how I would write it.
Get everything all at once.
I did pull, up Google Earth if anybody's interested on my computer after we get done this part of the meeting, if they want to see what 12th Street looks like from a street view. This would be very similar to what 12th Street looks like at this time in that area.
And he did change this, right? These lots go all the way to the alley?
Yes.
We
There's
go
not
all
gonna
the
be
way to the
anything?
railroad right away.
Okay.
Those houses, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, you feel free to speak, but they, run anywhere from 1,100 square feet up to about 1,400 square foot, depending on which house model it is. That's correct. And they would have garages as well. So you're probably in that $250,000 to 300,000 range, today's prices. You say?
275 to 350. Anybody else have any questions? Mr. Rager?
Did you?
Yeah, if you have any
Yes,
questions, we told.
you want to speak now, but
No, I don't really have anything to say. I mean, I tried to show you an idea of what the street would look like. That's the idea of the pictures. There'd be 7 houses put in there. They'd all have 20-foot setback, maybe 22. They all had way more than the 40-foot setback on the back. Sidelines, the houses are 40 foot. Now, if somebody didn't want to buy a 45 or something, but I think I put on their sideline, no 2 houses would ever be more than closer than 14 feet. And I go up and down the street, they're all not. I build houses out on Flint Lane, and the regulation used to be 15 feet. And you could go 7.5, 7.5, or 7.8. Those rules was 30 years ago when I was building. That's what Flint Lane is. And had a little more land, I think, up on Heightsville Drive. But this will be a nice looking subdivision. The homes are going to be probably 20 feet between each one of them. At least 10-foot sidelines, I think, is what our plan is.
What's your time frame or timeline, Tom?
I wanted to build them 6 months ago.
Well, looking forward.
The weather, I am hoping, they say it falls every day in February. I don't know if I believe that. That's what I've been told many times. So hopefully we can start putting a footer in, get the first house. We will build, I don't know what map you have there, because it shows the first house on the left. That's just, it shows basically a layout of our first house. It shows the garage coming in off of Vine Street. The rest of them will all come off of Cross Street.
Tom, any EPA issues going back through
I had
there?
a phase 3 EPA study done on it before I bought it.
Okay,
So, and they drilled, the reports I took, and drill holes all over it, and everything came out okay. And the banks I've had several banks look at it, so I don't think there's any environmental problems. So I also, to make sure that we didn't run into any problems out in the front where Papa John's was, there was a basement underneath that. This ground back here did not have a basement under the factory. It had 15, 16 inches of concrete. But to be sure, I took a backhoe and we dug all the way from Bible Street, all the way to the back of Papa John's. We dug about 4, 5, 6 feet deep all the way through there. And we didn't put it. So the ground, the integrity of the ground is good. These will be built on concrete slabs. Okay. We will put foundations in under the slab. I've been a realtor 50 years. Today, it appears to me that basements are a place to collect clutter. And a lot of the older people, they don't want the basement. We're trying to make these, for some of the older people that own larger homes, 3, 4, 5, 6 bedroom homes, where a lot of times the husband's died, the wife's living there and she don't have anywhere to go. And we'd like to see her sell those homes because the Intel people would like to come here. We just don't have anything to sell. And this, I think we're gonna market to try to get that. But young couples might wanna get into. There's, I think, 1 2-bedroom, the rest of them, I think, are all 3 bedrooms. I can't say the houses are gonna go in that order, you know, but that's the style of home that we're gonna build.
So Dave, is it pretty standard, any new builds, we don't have a sewer or water tap fee?
No, that was road, I can answer that one. That one was a road on there by Mr. Egger, and we've talked within the administration on what type of improvements we're going out front as far as curb, sidewalk, and we will probably be negotiating that, and that number probably won't be 0, and I've already told Mr. Egger that, so that's, but I don't wanna get hung up on $1,000 a lot, you know, we'll figure out some way to make it good for the city and good for the developer.
I'll put in curbs and sidewalks and stuff to help the city and.
Well, I'm just, you go down a rabbit hole where you don't charge for water and sewer tap fees, and what you're gonna do is somebody builds a new home someplace else.
It's, and that's something that we, as an administration, we have the right to negotiate pricing for infrastructure, so we'll definitely make a good deal within the city for the city and for the developer.
Anybody else have any questions?
Paul Miller built houses, probably close to me, you know, Paul Miller. But he didn't put streets in. I mean, he built no sewer, no water, no streets, no nothing. He just went and built houses and hooked them up as he went. And as he sold them and made money, he blacktop the street.
Okay, so finance and auditor, thanks, Mr. Rager. Finance, nothing. Does anybody else have anything with the ordinances? We'll have that at the next one, right, Max? Any more discussion?
That's this one.
Yeah, I see, Bob Beaumont, you wanted to speak on this, ticketing stuff?
Yeah,
Mayor or
when we left the last meeting, we wanted to double check on whether people really these lodges got reimbursed for what they were expecting. So, the next morning, I believe it was, or the following morning, Mark called the Moose, I called the Eagles. And, there's a summary of our conversations there. Both pretty much had the same story of how they were able to recoup their fees. So we confirmed what we were led to believe from last year. And then, there's a couple different ordinances there from, 2 other cities, what they do now, Newark and Dover. Just to give you an idea of what other places are doing.
Well, I called, I didn't write it up as nice as you did on letterhead and everything, so, but I called the Elks in Newark today. Their ordinance is specific, they separate profit and nonprofit. Elks keeps theirs, they're not charged a fee. And it'd be hard for them to do anything any different because the Elks treasurer in Newark is the mayor. So there's your job.
Right.
And what is done, he said that, last year, they had a, conflict with the for-profit organizations because the city had to issue the for-profit organizations the seal, the sticker to put on the machines, where the state wouldn't give them the machines. So that's, you know, that was the story. That's what I got. You know, I didn't have a chance to read through all of this, but I think this still needs, I'll look at it and we can talk about it some more, and I'll have to go back to a couple people and ask them why you were so staunch with one person and why he's okay now, so. I'll do my due diligence. And everything. Nobody called the Coshocton Elks?
No,
Nobody called, did anybody call
those
the?
were the two organizations last year that had pointed out to us that they
That they
had
got
intentions of
reimbursed?
Yeah, that we knew, right,
So
we
we just
already
wanted
knew,
to
right,
follow up on that.
Okay.
One lodge has paid their 2024 fees this year.
On this paper that you handed out last time, does that represent 1 year?
Correct.
So that's 50% of what they made off of their machines.
Yes.
50% minus the 35.
It gets confusing.
Yeah, it is.
It gets confusing. 35, there's a 65%. You know, we just need to have.
One of them come in.
You want them to come in and explain it. But they only get like a percentage of the, after it goes to the 5013C, then the clubs actually only get a small percent of whatever's left. It comes out to about 49 cents on the dollar.
there's
And then-
different percentage, so it's 65-35. And then
You
once
have to
they,
donate
well, yeah, you have to
half of the
donate,
65?
right, you have to, so it's 65-35, and then that's cut, like, with how much you have to donate, and then once you get to a certain dollar amount in revenue,
You have to donate
then it's
more.
50-50. Then it becomes 50-50, and then you have, well, you don't have to donate more, but there's more money to donate, and you have to donate a certain amount of that.
After you get to that 50/50, then the lodge has to donate 5 or 6% of that, their
Right.
money to another charity.
Right,
So
so
they're
that's,
coming out.
Anna's been really helpful with the Moose. That's originally last year who I talked to, that kind of, that's why the ordinance reads the way it does now, but I mean, anyone who's in charge of the lodge or any of those organizations know and can explain it way better than any of us. I mean,
Yeah. It gets confusing after the first division. It gets pretty confusing.
where it gets, and to me, where it gets convoluted is where if we say this certain organization is exempt, well, who's going in? Like, who's going to police how much? Or are they donating everything to charity?
Well, they
Or
have to
they-
account, they have to
Right,
account for
right,
every.
that's right,
The
right,
committee get
Yeah.
audited. If you haven't
Right.
done what you're supposed to do, they
Right.
pull your license.
right. So
That's the
that's where,
nonprofit.
right, the nonprofits, right.
I don't know if anybody checks the other ones.
I don't know either. I know even with the Brent Hamlin Scholarship, we get audited. So,
Right, okay.
You have to account for everything,
Yeah.
where it's going.
My opinion is if they're not making money, they wouldn't have them.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
Right,
You wouldn't have that machine that would cost you $350 in your lodge if you're not making any money on it. So you're making money on it. You're just not making what you want to make. And
right, and I think the
I
city,
just
I think the
get rid of
city
them
of,
then.
I think the city of Coshocton
That's, you know.
is a worthy place to send your money to, because we do great things.
It just bothers me that the fraternal organization has regulations they have to live by, and the private one doesn't.
Right.
So they get 100% of the profit. They don't have to donate to anybody.
I understand, but still,
That's-
you're
that's
you're
fair.
still making money.
So everything, you're saying everything is accounted for, does that count, 50/50 tickets that are sold off the
Yeah.
rolls?
Well,
Stuff that's sold
The
across the
bowl
bars?
tickets,
13s and stuff, yeah, I think
Yeah.
those are all, yeah, they're all counted.
anything that's
for.
regulated by the state, which
Yes, sir.
include tickets,
Right.
you're audited.
Is bingo, is our tickets under bingo
Yes.
law
Yeah.
too?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's all under bingo. But
But I agree with Chad.
Right.
If they're gonna play them,
Yeah.
they need to pay them. And it'd be a kind of a slap in the face to the community where we kept tap on the put the $10 on the water. And then we say, oh, well, you people are really good, and here, we're just gonna give up this $17,000. And, they're not giving it out of the goodness of their heart. They're giving it because they have to. Let's face it. It's not.
That's right. Yeah,
So I don't think we should be taking $17,000. That $17,000 goes into the general fund. Let's paint a couple crosswalks. Let's do a little bit, do a little something with it. Leave it alone, leave it alone.
Does that 17,000 include the nonprofits? Or just the?
No.
No.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
all
that's-
non,
That's all-
it doesn't
that's
include the
nonprofits.
for-profit at all.
It doesn't include them.
No.
No, that 17,000 was
Was
for
everything.
every permit
That
that we
was
sold
every
last
permit.
year.
Yeah.
So that would have been private,
That'd been
businesses.
How
How
and-
many for-profit do we have?
Well,
How many
How
for-profit
many?
businesses with electronic
Last year
machines
there
do we
was
have?
one. Last year there was one. It looks
and
like
this
this
year
year
there'll be
there's
one.
gonna be one. It's a
So-
different one, but the other,
If we take that for-profit out of that 17,000 figure, how much did the nonprofits, what were their licensing fees then?
I can go look that up. I didn't separate it that way. But yeah, I can go look and see how many.
So if we waived the fee, we wouldn't actually be losing 17,000, we'd be losing a portion of that because the
Right.
for-profit figure is already in that figure.
Right, is in
Well,
that
wasn't
figure.
one club like $3,000? I think
Yeah.
It's
majority of it.
$300
I think the
per
majority is probably nonprofits.
I am gonna need
I don't play it.
some kind of answer on this soon, because there is one club that did not pay their 2023 fees. And I've given them till February 1st to make that up, as well as get to 24, or else we're gonna go seize those machines. So I hate to do that if we're gonna change this ordinance.
I guess I would suggest that if some are insistent on not dropping the fee, that we raise the fee for the for-profit businesses, since they're not contributing anything to the community.
Can we do
I
that?
suppose that would be illegal.
I've not researched it, so I don't know.
But doesn't that go back to whom the owner of the machine is within the facility?
Companies own the machines. I don't know
But they're
about
not-
for-profit, so.
They're not.
we amend ordinances all the time. Anybody else? Mark, anything from SPP that what they talked about last week? That you're allowed to talk about? They got Michelle's email about the trails,
Right,
and I spoke with Michelle last Thursday, and I think she did get some feedback from the county about some of the things that they were doing.
yeah, I haven't heard, anything on that project at all from them.
Yeah, because I remember when I first come on, I think this is something she wants to do. and
Right.
Be a part of, so
Right.
hopefully we do our due diligence. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, so everybody in council?
Yeah.
Any idea? Okay.
How,
We need a dolly.
how heavy, I'll be able to get it, I'll be able to get it out of there.
Or
You know how to end it?
Roger.
You just
I
have
had 21 machines.
22nd, 2024 at 6:30, regular scheduled Coshocton City Council meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Andrew.
Here.
Barcroft. Here. Gross. Here. Johnson. Here. Wright. Here. Moore. Here. Turner absent.
Need a motion to excuse Michelle Turner, please. Second. Call the roll.
Andrew.
Yes.
Barcroft. Yes. Gross. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Moore. Yes.
We stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we thank you for the opportunity to be here and represent the city, guide, direct us in everything that we do. Praise your name. Amen.
Council, you have the minutes, January 8th council meeting. Any questions or comments? Need a motion to accept the minutes from the January 8th.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Call roll.
Andrew.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Moore. Yes.
Okay, public input? Anybody here? Mayor's report.
Since you didn't give me any time in committee, I'll make this into an hour-long meeting.
It's your meeting, you do what
Okay,
you want.
no, it's your meeting. Just my time, your meeting talk. Oh, let's see here, where do we start? I'll start with electric aggregation. I signed a contract for 15 months for 0.0654 last week. I think AEP rate right now is about 14. Residents will receive an opt-out letter from Energy Harbor. If you do not want to participate in the program, you need to send an opt-out letter back. If you want to participate in the program, you need to do absolutely nothing. So if you don't want to save money, send the letter back. If you want to save the money, do nothing. So that starts in March.
The company's name?
Energy Harbors, who we negotiate the rate with. Yep. So that starts March billing, I believe. Gas, we're still working on. Gas is very volatile. It's winter time, so winter time is not the best time to negotiate gas rates. So we are working on those. I believe he said he had a couple companies who he's working with now. So that's coming. So we will let everyone know when that comes. Still in the planning stages for the ACG, the Appalachian Community Grant Program. For Skip's Landing downtown. We should know, I want to say by March, if that funding comes through. I hope it does, because we've met and met and met and met on that. So look forward to not having any more meetings on that. Talked about the property on 12th Street. I'm in full support, as long as the developer does what the developer says he's gonna do. We do need housing here and look forward to that project. The USDA urban forestry grant, we are in initial talks. They have a federal partner now announced, who we will be working with for funding on that. Looking forward to that project, as well as initial. We had a company reach out to us to do a solar field on our 80-acre landfill property. on 83 South. Yes, 83 South. With the potential in the millions to make over 30 years. So we'll keep you up to date on that. The position of executive assistant to the mayor, the posting expires, I believe, Wednesday. We've had at least 20 applicants, I believe, 22. So people say they can't find help and everyone wants to work for the mayor. So I'm glad to hear that. Captain's test at the fire department was posted today. And the test will be February 28th. 23rd. So it's only 5 days off. That's not bad. So we're excited to announce that. We're going to have, I believe, 2 captains here within the next couple of years retire, which means 2 promotions, and then we will have 2 entry-level firefighters. So excited about that. Attended ice training the other day. I didn't get in the ice. I took their word for it that the ice outfits were warm. So we're now ready. Hopefully we have no more ice, so we don't have to utilize that training, at least this year. I want to thank the village of Conesville, the mayor of Conesville, Conesville City Council. Had a resident reach out to me about a bus shelter at the Armory property, which all 3 county school districts utilize. And now we have shelter there for anyone who's not spoiled enough to have their parents let them sit in the car till the bus gets there. So our walkers will be protected. Just happened to hear it on the radio that Conesville wanted to get rid of a bus shelter. So the spirit of Coshocton is good for something. And reached out to the mayor there, and we have a bus shelter. So I want to thank Public Works, the village of Conesville and Public Works for moving that today. So we have just basically one of the old metal advertising bus stops, but it'll work for now. So we're going to see how that works. Numerous water breaks all over town. The worst time of year to fix water breaks, but the freezing and thawing temperatures create old infrastructure that likes to break. So I want to thank the crews. They were out today, probably 18 hours, 20 hours on a water break on Otsego Avenue, which is contained. We have a water break now on 541 that should get addressed tomorrow. Just monitoring that. The warm up of the weekend is going to create more water breaks. So people say replace them all. Well, if you donate graciously 500 million to the city, we'll fix them all this year. So that's really what it's going to take. It's been 100 years and we're going to work on fixing this. Just want to thank distribution crews for the cold days, cold nights on water breaks, Public Works on snow removal, fire department training extensively to keep our residents safe. And if you have any questions, I'll definitely answer any of this. I want to say congratulations to Madison Miller. She didn't win, but she made the national stage for Miss America. So I want to congratulate her. And if anybody have any questions, I'll answer.
Mark,
Yeah.
the electric aggregation, beyond residential, is anybody else eligible for that?
So small business, there's a kilowatt hour. I don't want to misstate. I believe it's 700,000 kilowatt and under for a business. I know we had a local business reach out to us and gave us their number and then max. So if anyone had a question, if they're a small business owner and we know the limitations, definitely reach out to us here at City Hall and we'll try to address any questions.
Mark, when did you say that would take effect? Mark?
March.
Okay.
Yes, March. And that's only electric. Yep.
Mark, what was the AAP figure?
I believe it's like 14 cents. So we're going from 14 cents to 6.54. So I think it's like 14.4. It fluctuates. So I believe the last time I looked at it was 14. Thank you.
Safety Director, plus you're giving your state of the,
Next, yes, the February 12th for Roger's Valentine's Day gift.
Well, that's something to do with it.
Safety Director's report, Max?
I don't have anything to add. What we discussed today, Mark covered everything I had written down. Well, should have let you talk.
You're good. Just want to thank you guys for taking the tree down in the first one. Ball Director, Bob, you have anything for us?
I do not.
Sherry, you have anything?
I don't, thank you.
Sheriff Crawford, counselor emailed the city shift assignments. Do you have any questions for Sheriff? Good. Sheriff, you have anything for us?
No, sir.
Sheriff, I see you've been really busy, so appreciate your efforts.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have any questions for Deputy Sheriff? Kevin? Fire Department, Chief Gray, you have anything for us?
No, sir. Thank you.
We good? Okay, go into legislation. Ask the clerk to give the first reading of ordinance 224. Appropriation. For the first reading of ordinance 224, any questions or comments?
Take a motion to suspend the rules, go straight to third reading.
Call the roll.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross. Yes. Johnson.
Yeah.
Price.
Yes.
Moore, yes.
Clerk, please give the third reading of ordinance 224.
Appropriation.
Questions or comments? The question is, should ordinance 224 pass? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore, yes.
Ask the clerk to give a second reading of ordinance 124.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor or service director to prepare specifications, advertise a bid, and sign a contract for building a training facility.
For the second reading of ordinance 124, any questions or comments? 124 run its course. Go to resolutions. Clerk to give the reading of resolution 124.
Resolution authorizing the mayor, service director, auditor to sell certain city property as described herein by internet auction.
Question is, should ordinance 124 be adopted? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore, yes.
Resolution 124 is adopted. Give the reading for resolution 224.
Resolution authorizing the safety service director or the city of Coshocton to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Department of Transportation Alternatives Program and to execute contracts as required.
Question is, should ordinance 224 be adopted? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore, yes.
Resolution 224 adopted. Clerk, give the reading for resolution 324.
Resolution authorizing the city of Coshocton Safety Service Director to apply for, accept, and enter into an agreement with the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency's H2O Ohio Fund for the Chestnut Street Waterline Improvement Project.
Question is, should ordinance, or should resolution 324 be adopted? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore, yes.
Resolution 324 is adopted. Old business, new business, communications, we have any communications?
Not that I'm aware of today.
Next council meeting is February 12th, 2024, 6:30. Committee meeting will begin at 5:45. The motion for the meeting to be adjourned. So moved. Moore. Second. Johnson. Call the roll. Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Johnson. Yes. Price. Yes. Moore. Yes. Meeting's adjourned.